I never imagined I'd be the kind of man questioning his wife's behavior in front of others. Emily always carried herself with elegance, and for years I trusted her without hesitation. 7 years of marriage, with all the usual ups and downs, had convinced me our bond was strong. But sometimes, the smallest moments are enough to unravel everything you thought you knew about your partner and about your marriage. It began at a friend's birthday party. The place was alive with music, laughter, and the steady clink of glasses as people swayed to the rhythm. I've never been much of a dancer, but Emily loved it. Normally, I'd sit back and enjoy watching her move, that same easy charm that had drawn me to her in the first place. But that night carried a different weight. My best friend, Ryan, was there too. We'd known each other since college. He was the type of friend you'd trust with your life. I'd introduced him to Emily years earlier, and the three of us had shared countless meals, trips, and casual evenings together. I never once thought I'd see what I saw that night. The music shifted into something slow, sultry. Emily was already on the dance floor, her smile bright and teasing. But instead of turning to me, she reached for Ryan, and suddenly, they were moving together, his hand at her waist, her body leaning into him. At first, I told myself it was harmless, just friends enjoying a dance. But as the moment stretched on, the closeness, the whispered words, the way her hand lingered on his shoulder, it started to feel like something else entirely. My chest tightened. Heat rushed to my face. I caught the glances of others, the smirks, as if they all saw I had no control over what was unfolding in plain sight. I forced myself to stay composed, but inside I was unraveling. It wasn't jealousy. It was disrespect. When the music ended and they returned the crowd, I pulled Emily aside. My voice was low, strained but steady. "Why would you dance with Ryan like that?" I asked. Her eyes narrowed, lips curving into a half-smirk. "Don't be controlling," she snapped. The words hit harder than I expected. Don't be controlling. The phrase echoed like an accusation I hadn't earned. I wasn't trying to control her. I was trying to understand why my wife thought it was acceptable to wrap herself around my best friend in front of everyone. "Emily, I'm not controlling," I said, holding my voice level. "I just don't think dancing like that with Ryan is appropriate. He's my best friend, and you're my wife. Do you see how that looks?" She folded her arms, her jaw set. "So what? It was just a dance. You're overreacting." But I couldn't ignore the way her body pressed against his, or the look of satisfaction on Ryan's face. Something I'd never noticed before. My gut screamed this wasn't harmless. Still, I buried the thought, because admitting it meant facing something I wasn't ready to face. The rest of the night dragged. I avoided Ryan, barely acknowledging him, while Emily laughed and mingled as if nothing had happened. When we got home, I tried again, hoping distance from the party might make her see my side. "Emily," I said quietly, "please try to understand where I'm coming from. I trust you, but when you dance with Ryan like that, it crosses a line. This isn't about control. It's about respect." Her answer was sharp, dismissive. "Respect? You think I disrespected you? You're insecure, Michael. That's the real issue." Insecure. The word cut deep. I'd always thought of myself as steady, confident, not easily shaken. Yet standing under the harsh kitchen light, I felt small. I tried to explain again, but she brushed past me, muttering that she was tired and heading to bed. That night, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, my mind racing. It wasn't just about the dance anymore. It was about how she defended it. The sharpness in her tone, the refusal to even consider my feelings. Something between us had shifted. For the first time in years, it felt like Emily and I weren't on the same team. The days after were heavy with silence. Emily acted as though nothing had happened, moving through the house with a polished normalcy, while I carried the sting of her words. Insecure, controlling, overreacting. Each one chipped away at the trust one thought we'd built. Ryan didn't help. He texted like nothing was wrong, sending jokes, memes, asking to grab a drink. But every time his name lit up my phone, I saw his face that night, the smug grin as he held my wife close. Finally, I couldn't ignore it anymore. I asked him to meet me at a cafe. After a few minutes of meaningless chatter, I leaned forward. "Ryan, What exactly was going on at that party? You know what I'm talking about. He smirked, sipping his coffee before replying. Man, you're blowing out proportion. Emily's just fun. You're lucky she's not boring like some wives. Don't strangle her with jealousy. The casual disrespect in his tone made my blood boil. That's when I realized Ryan wasn't just crossing boundaries. He was testing me. Maybe even enjoying the wedge he was driving between us. That night, I told Emily about the conversation, expecting her to finally understand, to see Ryan for who he was. Instead, she erupted. So now you're interrogating my friends? Do you hear yourself, Michael? You're suffocating me. Her words cut deeper than she knew. I wasn't suffocating her. I was losing her. And maybe that's exactly what she wanted. Lying in bed later, the hum of the city drifting through our window, a truth settled in. The marriage I thought was built on loyalty and respect was slipping away. Emily had chosen to defend Ryan, to dismiss me, to treat my concerns as chains. And maybe the real betrayal wasn't the dance itself, but the way my wife looked at me like I was the enemy.